One of the most challenging things with using a mind mapping tool is just getting started. Okay, I'm going to grab this shape here and I'm going to call this my new idea. And then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to say that this is step one of that new idea. This is going to take a long time. Well, what if instead you could create a full mind map like the one you see here in a matter of seconds? Let me show you how. Hello everyone, Scott Friesen here at Simpletivity, helping you to get more done and enjoy less stress. And as we take a quick glance at this mind map, you would probably assume that this took me a full hour, if not longer, to brainstorm. And maybe I had to collaborate with others and rethink how I was going to group everything together. But I didn't do any of that. In fact, I created this mind map in just a few seconds. So let me show you how. Here within Miro, I can come up to the settings icon and select the command palette. And here I have a variety of AI assisted prompts that I can get started with. Now I can do an awful lot, but for right now, let's look at generating our mind map. And so in this example, I want to generate a mind map for a new pet grooming business and what areas I should be focused on. All I need to do is hit enter on my keyboard, and in just a few seconds, I have a complete mind map, which is going to give me a variety of different areas, including ones that perhaps I didn't think about, where I can continue to brainstorm or to edit and group things together. So in this example, I've got everything from location to what services am I going to offer, supplies, finances, legal staffing, marketing, and target market, a number of things that maybe I wasn't going to consider. Now, just like with any other mind map, I can group things the way I want. If I want some things on this side together, if I want to perhaps make a connection between ear cleaning and shampoo and conditioning, I can do all of the editing features that I'm used to here within Miro. But our assistance from AI doesn't stop here. Let's come up here to target market. And I want to think a little more deeply about the different types of pet owners. So I'm going to select this, and you'll notice that we still have this AI icon available to us. If I select this, I can expand and continue down this path. I can either expand with questions, expand with ideas, or expand with topics. Because I'm still in brainstorming mode, I'd like to think of some questions I should be considering as I'm exploring different pet owners. So I'm going to select that option here. And again, in just a few seconds, it's going to spit out a number of different questions that maybe I will want to include on an intake form. Maybe it's some questions that I want to ask myself when it comes to marketing and who I am going to be targeting. These are fantastic questions, and they're very specific to pet owners and things that are related to a pet grooming business. Now, of course, I can come up here and maybe remove some of the ones that I don't think are as relevant. But just look at how quickly I've gone from a very simple idea, a simple set of instructions, into a variety of things that is going to help me set up my business for success. But of course, because Miro is such a flexible tool, we are not limited to just mind maps and drawing things with shapes and connecting them with lines and dots. In fact, one of my favorite features of Miro is using their sticky note feature. So let's see how AI can help us in this context. So in this way, I want to maybe generate some questions for an upcoming workshop. So in this example, I'm asking, give me 25 icebreaker questions for a business budgeting workshop. Let's see what it comes up with. And again, in just a few seconds, it's giving me exactly what I'm after. And unlike ChatGPT or some more text-based AI tools, it's so much easier for me to group these things together. What I love about sticky notes is that in just a matter of seconds, I can group maybe some like-minded questions together. I can, of course, color code them as well if I want to maybe make things that are related to financial lessons in pink. And I can still make those connections as we would come to expect expect when it comes to any type of mind mapping tool. But it gets better than that because remember, we have AI tools at our disposal. So in this example, I'm going to select all of those sticky notes and I'm going to come up here to our AI tool. I can choose to summarize all of these post-it notes, which may be very useful if you are collecting user data, or maybe this is feedback from your clients. I can cluster them by keywords, or I can cluster them by sentiment, meaning are they more positive or negative or neutral? In this case, I'm going to choose cluster by keywords because I want to see what some of the themes are amongst these questions, and maybe I want to make sure that I spread them out or have a nice mix of these icebreaker questions available. So by selecting this option, you can see it's grouped it by more expenses, budget, and process. Here is a little more lesson, philosophical. This one is related more to tools or apps. So maybe for my upcoming training, I'm going to select one from each of these categories, or maybe for a certain part of my meeting, I'll just focus on all 6 of these if we're talking about goals. Now in this next example, I'm sticking with my sticky notes, and here I've collected a variety of feedback from actual users who have been customers of a pool company. So I've got a mix of feedback here, which is probably going to take me some time to sift through or go through one at a time. But why don't we use AI to make it that much easier? Here I'm going to use that option again, and this time I'm going to say cluster by sentiment. Now it has broken out all of those comments into 3 categories: positive, neutral, and negative. So let's say I just want to focus on these negative comments here. What I'm going to do is select 5 of these comments and I'm going to say, summarize it for me. Rather than going through each and every comment, what is the theme here? Well, good customer service, but a high price. Excellent recommendations, but delivery and installation issues or damage. So think about how much more time consuming it would be if I had 100 or maybe 1,000 pieces of feedback. Now I can summarize it and share it with my team or act on what I see here. So if you want to generate ideas and strategies that much faster and with the assistance of AI, be sure to check out Miro. Miro AI is currently in beta, but available for all users. To find out more and to get started, click the link in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, being productive does not need to be difficult. In fact, it's very simple.